I first want to acknowledge my amazing, accomplished wife, beautiful Nanette Jolivet Brown. You have been a loving partner and the shining example for our daughter of what a woman can do and what a woman can be. I also want to acknowledge my handsome debonair son and single. I just did you a solid, young man. His love for his sister is as boundless as his creativity. In fact, the other day he sent me a video of him doing a stand-up comedy routine at a New York nightclub. Yeah, you continue to amaze me. However, I hope you have a pen, young Jedi, to take some notes. On behalf of our family, I want to again say thank you for sharing this special night with us as we honor the marriage of Andrew and Rachel. We don't take your presence for granted. We know that you had to be very intentional about coming here tonight, given some of the things that we all face. And we're very happy to have each of you all here. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the people who work so hard and tirelessly to make this wedding happen. We hope you enjoy the event that they put together. Rabbi David Gerber, the wedding planner extraordinary, Elise Jennings, this team at the Audubon Tea Room, the circus tent builders, the clowns, the bearded lady, we thank you all. Yeah. There are so many wonderful faces as I look around this room, and so many wonderful people and memories. But I do want to take a moment and acknowledge my sister Bridget, my brothers Roger and Gary and their families. I want to acknowledge Nanette's sister Carolyn, her brother Dwight and his family, and of course Rachel's godmother, Alexis, wherever you are. And of course a very, very special thank you to Claire and Steve Golden, parents of the groom, who we shared this special night with. The two of them and their daughter Rachel, yes, another amazing Rachel, and her husband Jarrett, and their family members and their friends. We are so happy to have you here with us tonight. More to come on the Goldens in a minute. Let's talk about Rachel. You know, as I look around this room, I'm reminded of the negotiation that took place when we started talking about the wedding planning. And I'm a skilled negotiator. You know, it's what I do for a living. And I'm an exceptional poker player. And so Rachel and I go into a room and we sit down and we start talking about the wedding. And I make my initial offer. She responds. I up the ante a little bit. And then Rachel looks at me and she says, "Dad, didn't your friend Leo change the carpet and the wallpaper in the grand ballroom in the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco for his daughter's wedding?" I said, "Yeah, he did that." She said, "Well, you just need to slide those chips over here, buddy, because, you know, this negotiation is over." But, you know, Rachel was born premature, crying, and as you all know, she has not stopped talking since. Throughout her life, she has always been perceptive, thoughtful, caring, and loving. But up But up until the point that she graduated from college, she was always a little bit unsure of herself, just a little uncertain about what were her capabilities, how good could she be. Now, I know that people say that Rachel's a daddy's girl, that she's got me in the palm of her hand, that she can get me to do everything. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But every time I looked at you, Rachel, I was reminded that extraordinary people can make extraordinary achievements look ordinary. And I knew if I believed in you unconditionally, even when you were unsure of yourself, eventually you would believe in yourself. I knew that you could do things that others never imagined if I just believed in you. And so I said yes, often wanting just to see what you could do. And now I look at you, this strong, confident, and limitless woman that we all see here tonight. You travel the world and you mesmerize people with your quick mind, your natural curiosity, and an uncanny ability to connect the dots between events and opportunities. I know others see this in you as well. Your mother, Dylan, and I are so proud of you. You are an extraordinary person, and you make extraordinary achievements look ordinary. All my life, I knew that if you had to choose somebody, a man in your life, you would choose me. From tonight on, you have to choose Andrew. He is the number one man in your life now. But I'm not going to cry because I'm going to talk about Andrew. That's my amazing daughter. You know her well. And Andrew, this is what I call my safe slide. This is a slide that I put into the deck. If I was boohooing and crying, if I got to this slide, I could recoup myself. But it's in here for you. That's a picture of Rachel when she got her first car. And I'm showing it to you to show that proof that she was one time happy with the Chevrolet. Now, while Nanette and I were raising Dylan and Rachel in New Orleans, 1,300 miles away in New York City, Claire and Steve were raising their own two children, Rachel and Andrew. Steve and Claire, you have done a remarkable job with both of your children. But, let's talk about Andrew Golden here, though. Now, sometimes, people have a persona. And particularly in this day and age when they have these internet, personas and they become famous for some things in some ways that don't really make sense to the rest of us. Well, when your daughter comes to you and says, I found the guy that I want to marry, when you're a man like me, you do what any self-respected man do, I hired an investigator to do an internet search on this guy, Andrew Golden. And they came back to me and they said, you need to be in a room by yourself when you look at this. Don't let your wife see it, Don't let Dylan see it because you don't want him going astray. I get into a room and they slide over to me their file, the Meat Sweat dossier. Now, apparently, Andrew has a unique skill set. He travels the world, and what he does, he consumes high-grade beef, and he has people film it. But don't take my word for it. I looked at that file, Andrew, and I knew immediately you were the man for my daughter. You know. But actually, when I take the measure of a person, I typically look for three things. Are they smart? Do they work hard? Do they have the right values? Do they have strong values? And Andrew, you have all of these qualities. And I know you have these qualities because your parents, Steve and Claire, have those qualities, and they made sure you and your sister were born and raised and still have those same qualities. But those three qualities really, to marry my daughter, aren't enough. You could work for me with those three qualities. You can't marry my daughter with those three qualities. The fourth one I looked for in you was, do you love my daughter? And without a doubt, unequivocally, I know you love Rachel. And I know you believe in Rachel. And I know you have tremendous patience with Rachel. I have watched that. As a matter of fact, your commitment to Rachel is so deep and so strong. You believe in each other so much that you all decided to start a business, a travel business, an exclusive travel business, and you quit your job at a hedge fund to start this travel business. Now, Claire and Steve, we never talked about this, but I'm sure he came home and you said, "Oh shit, you quit your job?" And the reason I know that is because but the reason I know that is because in my house, Annette and I both said, "Oh shit, he quit his job?" But you found your way back. Bank of America is going to be so grateful to have you on their team. And if you want to prove to me in the future that you're devoted to Rachel, find some other way to do it. I mean, it's like, we don't job quit in this family, so that's out. But as much as I've really enjoyed, loved, cherished getting to know Andrew, as much, even more, I've enjoyed getting to know Claire and Steve. And meeting Claire and Steve was really interesting because, you meet parents and it can be awkward. So we were in New York City. We were at a nondescript steak restaurant. Annette and I go up, and we get to the table. We're making small talk, and I'm thinking, this shit's gonna be a long night, And so my daughter says, "Well, Dad, what did you do all day?" And I said, "Well, I actually stayed in the room and I watched a new version of the Shaft movie." And then Steve says, "Shaft? The new one? Oh, I love that movie." And I'm like, oh snap. Steve likes Shaft. I like Shaft. We got some common ground here. And following that, Steve and I and Claire and Annette, we all met up in upstate New York, got to know each other better, and I can't be happier with the new family members that we have today. Now, Rachel and Andrew are kindred spirits. I mean, they are better together than they are apart. They are the better half of the other. And I have, along with Nanette, we have really just loved and enjoyed getting to know them as a couple. But what you know about them even more so, and many of their friends are here, is that they have a very special talent, a very special skill, a very loving thing that they do is they bring people together. They have the ability to take people from all different walks of life, people who don't really have a connection, and they come together. And the common thing that all those people have is they love Rachel and Andrew. I mean, it's just a special skill. And I remember a poem that was written by Maya Angelou called Human Family. And many people think that that poem is about her travels and her experiences with meeting people across the world. But she wrote it in 1990, and she said what she really was inspired by was a set of friends she had and those people's ability to bring other people together.
Human family. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious, some thrive on comedy, some declare their lives are lived as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse bemused delight, brown and pink and beige and purple, tan and blue and white. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane. I've not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. We love and lose in China, we weep on England's moors, and laugh and moan in Guinea, and thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, are born and die in Maine. In minor ways we differ, in major we're the same. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
I'm not done. Hey, I'm not done. No, but at this point, I'm supposed to offer some fatherly advice before I close, and I'll say this. I could give you some advice, some words tonight, and I think they would be meaningless. But between Claire and Steve and Annette and I, we've been married almost 80 years. And the two of you all have had a chance to watch us, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, how people change, how they have to, yield sometimes and you have to lead other times. Take those lessons, take the good and build on it, learn from the bad and discard it. But the advice is what we've tried to teach you every day of your lives as we raised you, and we're here for you if you need us, but the best of what we know, we put into you as we raise you. So at the end of this night, I hope that you all have a chance to enjoy yourselves, have a chance to share some time with friends, catch up with people, and at the end of the night, we want to be able to say that a good time was had by all. And on that, I'll say that follow the bride out.